The Temple of First Light on Zelver Prime had stood for 3 million years. Its walls bore inscriptions in a language so ancient that even the galaxy's most learned scholars could only guess at their meaning. The Zelvari priesthood guarded these secrets jealously, claiming their ancestors had been chosen by the gods themselves. High Priest Zeldar was conducting the annual pilgrimage tour for dignitaries from across the galaxy when the humans arrived. He barely suppressed his disdain. Humans were barely a century into space travel, primitive newcomers with no understanding of ancient mysteries. These inscriptions, he intoned reverently, gesturing to the main chamber's walls, are written in the sacred tongue of the precursors. No living being can read them. They are prayers to the gods who walked among stars before time itself had meaning. The gathered ambassadors murmured appreciatively. It was an impressive speech, one Zeldar had perfected over decades. Actually, a voice interrupted from the back. That's not a prayer. It's a maintenance schedule. Every head turned. Dr. Lisa Chun, human xenolinguist, stood studying the wall with professional interest. Zeldar's neck ridges flushed with indignation. How dare you? Line 3 says atmospheric processor requires recalibration every 1,000 cycles, she continued, running her finger along the inscription without touching it. Line 7 is about coolant levels in the primary fusion reactor. This whole section is essentially a user manual. The priest's staff trembled in his hands. Impossible. The sacred tongue has been dead for 3 million years. No species possesses the knowledge to. The sacred tongue isn't dead, Chen replied calmly. It's Sumerian. Well, Proto-Sumerian with some modifications, but the root structure is unmistakable. The numerical system is base 60. The grammatical particles match. Even the verb conjugations are consistent with early Mesopotamian languages. She turned a face. The priest directly and spoke in fluid, perfect Sumerian, the words flowing with confidence that came from years of study. The staff clattered on the temple floor. Zeldar staggered backward, his skin tone shifting through colors that indicated profound shock. You speak the language of the gods. That is, no one has spoken those words in about 5,000 years on Earth, Chun finished. We found it in archaeological sites in Iraq. We've been translating tablets written in this language since the 1800s. We teach it in universities. But the precursors vanished 3 million years ago. Another priest protested. How could humans possibly? That's the question, isn't it? Chun moved to another section of the wall, reading easily. This part describes the seeding protocols for Class G planets with oxygen-nitrogen atmospheres. It mentions Earth by its stellar coordinates. And this section, she paused, her expression growing serious. This section discusses genetic modification of indigenous primates to increase intelligence and language capability. The temple fell absolutely silent. The precursors didn't just visit Earth, Chin said quietly. They created us. Or at least, they gave our ancestors the genetic push that led to modern humans. That's why we can read their language. It's not coincidence. They programmed the linguistic structures into our DNA, buried it deep in our cognitive architecture. Zeldar sank to his knees. 3 million years we've guarded this temple. 3 million years we've claimed divine heritage. And humans are the ones the precursors actually touched. Not just humans, Chun corrected gently, pointing to another inscription. This lists 18 other species across the galaxy who received similar interventions. The precursors didn't choose one people. They planted seeds everywhere, hoping some would grow into space-faring civilizations. She helped the aged priest to his feet. Your ancestors weren't wrong about being special. The precursors built this temple as a message. They just didn't expect it would take 3 million years for someone who could read it to show up. What does the message say? Zeldar whispered. Chun walked to the center chamber, where the largest inscription dominated the wall. She read aloud in Sumerian, then translated. To our children among the stars, you are not alone. You never were. We seeded life across the void so that one day you might meet each other, learn from each other, and continue the work we began. The galaxy is your inheritance. Use it wisely. Signed, the architects of tomorrow. Tears rolled down Zeldhar's face. A profound emotional response, his species reserved for only the most sacred moments. We've been wrong, he said. Wrong about everything. The temple isn't meant to separate us from knowledge. It's meant to unite us. And humans. He looked at Chun with new understanding. You're not newcomers to the cosmic family. You're returning children, finally able to read the letters left for you. Chun smiled sadly. We're all returning children. The precursors wanted us to find each other, to recognize our common origin. They wrote this message in a language that would lie dormant in human genetics until we evolved enough to rediscover it independently. She touched the wall gently. They didn't just leave us a temple. They left us a family tree. And now that we can read it, we finally understand. Every spacefaring species in this galaxy is related. We're all children of the precursors. The story spread through the Galactic Council within days. The Temple of First Light, once a mysterious religious site, became a bridge between past and present. In humanity, the species everyone had dismissed as primitive newcomers became the key to unlocking secrets 3 million years old. Because sometimes the newest voice in the conversation is the one that remembers the oldest truths.